Any way you look at it, tonight's CFL game has some great matchups. The quarterbacks, one does his best work on the run, the other likes to play his game in the pocket. The running back, size is not a prerequisite, but speed and power are. The defenses, who as groups of 12 can change the game plan of an opposing team in one quick blitz. And the coaches, experienced, outspoken, and successful.
The best from the West meets the beast from the East, tonight on CFN.
The Edmonton Eskimos are closing in on yet another first-place finish in the West, comfortably ahead of Calgary by 6 points. In the East, the Hamilton Tiger Cats can clinch a playoff spot if they win tonight and move closer to a first-place finish as well. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our CFN telecast from Hamilton, featuring the two best teams in the Canadian Football League. The Hamilton Tiger Cats are coming off a big win in Winnipeg in overtime last week, a game in which they played their best defense in weeks, and they'll have to be good on defense again tonight because they are going against the most prolific offense in the CFL, led by quarterback Tracy Ham. Ham is in only his third year in the CFL, but he's at or near the top of all the CFL passing stats and among the rushing leaders, and our Neil Lumsden is with him.
Tracy, your confidence level, it seems to me, from the start of the season to now is greatly increased. Are you a lot more comfortable not only with the offense, but what you're seeing downfield on defense?
Well, I think I'm comfortable with the people we have on offense. We had a lot of new people in the lineup early in the season, and it just took some time to get comfortable with them. You know, it's a situation where they're learning me and I'm learning them, so it's a growing process for the whole offense.
And that process has been successful so far. Hamilton defense, you know they're going to try to come up and stay in their lanes to take the run away. Do you expect anything else from them, anything special?
Well, if I can just get them to play honest in their own lanes, that I think I've accomplished what we set out to do. Most people get out of their lanes trying to put added pressure on the quarterback, and therefore they give up something when they get out of their lanes. But if they stay in their lanes, then I'll have my passing lanes downfield, and we won't have a problem. But when they get in my passing lane, being that I'm so short, it creates a problem. So when people get out of the passing lane, I have to, you know, get outside, make them pay for not doing what they're supposed to do.
Have a good game tonight.
Thank you, Neil.
Edmonton and Hamilton were both 5-1 when they met some 5 weeks ago at Commonwealth Stadium. The Eskimos broke it open late in the second quarter and went on to a 37-14 victory. Tonight they meet on Hamilton's home turf. Will it make a difference? We'll find out. The Eskimos and Ticats are coming up on the Canadian Football Network.
They fake a reverse. Allen has got it, and he might score. Touchdown, he slid in.
Donegan, lots of time, pass deflected and intercepted. Michael Gray. The Edmonton Eskimos have the best road record in the CFL, 4-2. They, of course, have the best overall record at 10-2. They're 6-0 at home. The Hamilton Tiger Cats are 5-1 at Ivor Wynne Stadium. Joe Farragelli, the 60-year-old head coach of the Edmonton Eskimos, and his counterpart Al Bruno, who is 59. The two oldest coaches in the CFL tonight. And two of the better ones, the teams with the best records in the league, set to go at it at Ivor Wynne Stadium.
It was interesting to ask Al Bruno if he was happy the way the season's gone so far, and he said, well, maybe content is a better word.
And a big smile spread across his face. Use whatever description you like. That win in Winnipeg last week by the Ticats, an overtime victory. Very uplifting for them. Obviously now 2 points ahead of the Blue Bombers in the race for first place in the East. And facing the ultimate challenge in the CFL right now, and that's playing the Edmonton Eskimos.
Well, it seems that everyone says that at one point. Look, the team we have to beat, especially teams in the West, are the Eskimos. And rightfully so, the way they've been playing.
And as Balliston hits the ball, and we are underway at Ivor Wynne Stadium. Tony Hunter can't handle it at his 5-yard line. The ball goes into the end zone. Hunter finally gets a handle on it. And as down at the 2-yard line. Pete Nipopoulos with a tackle.
And a big one down near the goal line. Sometimes when the ball's kicked and it's fumbled around a bit, everyone gets out of their lanes as far as coverage, but they did a good job closing in. Tracy Ham starts very close to his own goal line.
A touchdown to interception ratio, 19 to 10. Excellent. Ham is second in the CFL's efficiency rating for quarterbacks, behind Matt Dunnigan, his former teammate.
I don't care.
Joe Ferragelli suggesting to Tony Hunter that he should have stayed in the end zone and given up a single point. Said the Eskimos have to start at their 2-yard line. And they are working into the wind in this first quarter. Ham gives to Reggie Taylor, and the whistle blows before the play got underway.
Early movement by the Ticats. I believe Tim Lorenz, number 64, jumped. Tracy Ham has not only a great deal of ability, but when he gets to that offensive line.
Offside. Hamilton, number 64. First down repeated.
And starts snapping the snap count using his voice inflection. He can pull people off.
Tim Lorenz playing inside with Mike Walker. First down, over 5 yards to go. Eskimos now at their 7, and Covington was offside that time as Reggie Taylor carries out to the 15 for a first down, an 8-yard gain. And if it is Hamilton offside, they'll take the 8 yards by Taylor.
Well, 2 plays in a row now, taking nothing away from that run by Taylor, that the Ticats have let the Edmonton Eskimos away from their 1-yard line and given them some breathing room.
Offside. Hamilton, number 77. Decline. First down.
2 plays in a row. The Ticats over anxious on defense. Nice night in Hamilton, 15 Celsius at game time, and the wind northwest 15 kilometers an hour. And it's favoring the Ticats in the opening quarter. Eskimos from their 15. Ham, lots of time, but throws over the head of the intended receiver. And that's Walter Murray, a newcomer in the Edmonton lineup. And Ham paid for that throw, as did Sean Salisbury time and time again last week when the Ticats played Winnipeg.
Well, Tracy Ham is the first to admit that if he receives a pass rush and people stay in the lanes and get in his face because of his height, he has a more difficult time looking downfield and picking up a receiver. That has to be one of the tactics of the Hamilton defense.
Ham goes around 5'10", 5'11" in that neighborhood. And he's in the pocket looking downfield again, intercepted by Stephen Jordan. To the Edmonton 10-yard line, inside to about the 8 or 9.
Jordan sitting back. We're going to look at Tom Richards go down in the pattern. Ham has time to throw, pushes off and comes back to the football, but the ball is delivered more to the inside. Ham, I guess, believing that Richard would curl around and come back to him a little bit more. Heads up play by Jordan.
3rd interception of the year for Jordan, only the 11th that Tracy Ham has thrown. And the Ticats are at the Edmonton 7-yard line. Kerrigan to McAdoo, straight ahead across the 5, down into about the 3-yard line.
When you talk about Derek McAdoo, you don't talk an awful lot about breakaway speed, that blinding type of speed that you see by other backs, but he gives you the ability to run inside and out. He picks his way nicely through tough spots in that offensive line, and he's a tough son of a gun. He takes the hits and rolls off very well.
Only played 10 games, Neil, and he has over 1,000 yards in combined rushing and passing yardage. Good year for the rookie. 2nd and goal from the 3. McAdoo with it again off the right side, and he is straightened up at the 3. The offensive line of the Ticats unable to open a hole. Stu Hill, number 36, one of the Eskimos in on the stop. And Al Bruno will have a decision here. Take the 3, which is what he'll do, or go for it.
Well, Bruno told us when we talked today that they wanted to run at the Eskimos because the guys like Stuart Hill, Stuman, Bass, there's a herd of them that pursue so well. That time Stuart Hill comes off and gets that inside shoulder and makes contact. They're going to have a tough time running at them too.
Few teams have been able to run against the Eskimos this year, as Baldiston will try a 10-yard field goal. Dylan holding, and it's good. And the Ticats are in front 3-0 with 2.5 minutes gone in the first quarter at Ivor Wynne Stadium.
When a team wins in the bottom of the ninth. That's real excitement. And right now, the rally is on to bring all the excitement of Major League Baseball to Phoenix. See, by voting yes on Proposition 1, we approve a ballpark. And then when we get our team, we build our ballpark, and not a day before. So if you want baseball, vote yes this Tuesday on Proposition 1 and put Phoenix in the ballpark for Major League Baseball.
For complete coverage of the NFL, join Len Dawson and Nick Bonaconti for HBO's Inside the NFL. Inside Info delivers those stories you won't see on the sports page. Cover Story brings you the human interest side of NFL personalities. NFL Forum gives you a different person every week, presenting their insights into the league. And we bring you the NFL greats from yesteryear in Where Are They Now?
Something for all of you.
Inside the NFL, Thursdays on HBO.
Seconds left in the first quarter at Ivor Wynne Stadium in Hamilton. The Tiger Cats, who have lost 8 of their last 10 meetings with Edmonton, lead the Eskimos 3-0. Edmonton permits 23. Reggie Taylor, right side. It's 5 difficult yards. Pete Giftopoulos in on the stop.
Boy, he took a shot as he went in there. It looked like somebody snapped him around just as he hit into the line. Straight handoff. He reads in, tries to cut straight up here. Ooh, takes a shoulder by Giftopoulos. Good hard hit.
Taylor's only 180 pounds. Giftopoulos around 225. Taylor bounced right up. 2nd and 5 for Ham and the Eskimos, and the pass is no good. Intended for Todd Smith, who was in the game replacing Walter Murray. Lance Shields on the coverage.
Good strip by the outside arm of Shields, and Joe Faragelli looks on. And
well, you open again, were you? That inside curl looks like it's there every time they play man. Energetically, he's a little too close. Nice pickup. Nice pickup.
Even from the sidelines, a head coach, especially an offensive head coach, as Joe Faragelli is, can see what's going on and pick out. And usually it's the receiver saying, "Coach, I'm open."
We'll look for them to go to Tom Richards the next time they have it. The inside curl Faragelli was talking about with Richards. 3rd down and 5. Korek is going to punt. At least he tried. He won't get it off. As a matter of fact, he's in big trouble and will do well to concede a safety touch here. Jerry Korek not handling that snap perfectly, and then a big Hamilton rush, and he could see there was no way he was going to get the kickoff, and made probably the wise move.
Oh, there's no question. At the one point it looked like he was going to try to escape. He's a 2-stepper, takes that first step, and then pulls it down, feels the pressure. Now, with the way he's running here, you think he might do something silly, but I think as soon as he turns downfield and feels, I'm not going to outrun any of those guys, smart move, very smart.
Looked to me like he bobbled it a bit, but not at all. It was a good, clean snap and catch.
Well, the pressure doesn't look like it's anything out of the ordinary, except it's consistent. Not just one man's coming free, almost looked like a wave.
Well, Korek saw something that he didn't like, decided not to try and kick it. And so it's 5-0 Hamilton with 6:58 left in the first quarter.
And as we look at it, we might not have seen what Jerry Korek had seen, because
2-point safety touch. Hamilton will scrimmage the ball on their own 35. 1st down.
From his point or viewpoint, it's completely different.
And the Ticats taking the option of scrimmaging the ball from their 35-yard line with a 5-0 lead. Hamilton with the wind in this opening quarter. Fairly stiff wind that we expect to go down as the night goes on.
That was a smart move. Giving up the safety. No, it's a smart move. Get the damn safety rather than give him the ball there. It's a field goal. That's a smart move.
And you know what else? Carr can now walk away not thinking he messed up. I mean, sure, something went awry, but he made the right decision, and that's reinforced by Joe Faragelli.
You think Joe would have told him had he made the wrong decision? You bet.
Jerry Korek wouldn't have gone near him, though.
From the 35, Kerrigan will throw for DiPietro, complete. Had to reach up for that one, but brought it down. 10-yard gain for veteran Rocky DiPietro as he moves catch by catch closer to the all-time record of 650 held by Tommy Joe Coffey. That's number 634 for DiPietro, so he's 16 away from tying Coffey. Ticats from their 45, champion wide right. Zatilny splits left. That's DiPietro in motion. Kerrigan play action. Looked like he wanted Champion. Comes back, throws for DiPietro, alertly grabbing it with one hand after it was deflected. Knocked out of bounds at the Edmonton 41. And a penalty flag as well on the play down around the Edmonton 40-yard line.
I think the penalty was called after DiPietro had made the first down, so that'll stand. But what a heads-up play to be able to track the football. It's tipped. It wasn't going to you in the first place, and then get underneath it.
Watching from the rear. Hamilton 87 after the first down. 1st and 10 Hamilton.
Try to get away from that pressure. Kerrigan, slight play fake to McAdoo to hold the linebacker just a bit. He comes back, tries to get it to Estelle. Braswell's in the way. Just a heads-up play. The clip coming back was by Champion on Blair.
Well, they get the first down on the catch. The DiPietro stands, but they're back at their 51, the Ticats, instead of being down at the Edmonton 40, and McAdoo carries on first down for a gain of maybe 3. Eskimos, the toughest team in the CFL to run against. They've only given up 74 yards per game on average in their first 12 games. And those people right there are the major reason. Williams, Mandarich, Stuman, and Hill up front, although Hill and Stuman could be classified as linebackers. Ruck, Bass, and Braswell. That's the front 7. They're all over the place. Mandarich couldn't get Kerrigan. Zatelny can't catch the ball, and it's intercepted. Don Wilson with his second of the night flips it to Stanley Blair, and he's to the Hamilton 53-yard line. We have 5:09 left in the first quarter. The Ticats up by 5. Edmonton Eskimos have averaged 34 points a game this season. They lead the CFL in scoring, but tonight only 1 point in the first quarter. 2nd and 10 at the Hamilton 49 for the Eskimos to start the second quarter. And that pass for Walter Murray, no good. Sonny Gordon on the coverage.
Seemed like the ball sailed just a little bit. Watch the way the ball bounces backwards. Just that last punt by the Eskimos. Jackson comes back, tries to grab it because he feels Cowher coming in. So the whole play of Jerry Clark rushing to get to the football forces another situation, and a good one for Edmonton.
Horrick has been in the spotlight quite a bit tonight, conceding a safety touch, hustling down on that punt, and now he'll kick again, this time with the wind. Good snap. Not a great kick by Horrick. Caught by McAdoo at the 15-yard line, and that's as far as he will go. Driven hard out of bounds by Enos Jackson and a couple of other Eskimos. We haven't seen Derek McAdoo return punts very much for Hamilton this year, but he's back there tonight.
Mike Kerrigan and the Hamilton offense have averaged over 300 yards a game this year throwing the football, and when he can get hot into his rhythm of throwing, and everyone knows it's a 3 and a 5 step, he can be deadly.
They lead the CFL, Neil, with that 301-yard average passing per game. But they'll run on first down from their 15, and McAdoo will get absolutely nowhere. Danny Bass was there, as was John Mandarich.
Well, Danny Bass's tackles may be down this year, and there's a number of reasons for that. They're not on the field as much, and of course the other great players, but 6 fumble recoveries, 4 interceptions, 50 tackles, 5 sacks. They almost need another sheet of paper to put all this on him.
10th year in the CFL, is 6th with Edmonton. I'll tell you more about Bass as the game goes on. What a great player he's been with his 3rd team in the CFL. 2nd down and 10. Kerrigan throws for Zatelny. It's tipped, and it falls incomplete, but there is a flag, and interference will be called, it appears, against the Edmonton Eskimos.
Forward pass there. Number 14 Edmonton. First down Hamilton.
Well, when you have aggressive defensive backs, you will get some interference calls.
And you usually take them because in the long run that pays off. Against Andre Francis, when you make a cut and try to come back to the cornerback with his speed, he's right behind you anyways. But you can see that left arm and the swing with the right arm over the shoulders was just a little bit premature.
Gives the Ticats a first down at their 32, and the handoff goes to Jed Tommy, is out across the 40 to about the 41-yard line for a gain of close to 9 yards.
A good changeup for the Tiger Cat offense is to be able to throw Jed Tommy at them, and they maybe should do that a little bit more. Takes the pressure off either McAdoo if he's in there or Tony Truelove, and the guy can run the football.
Tommy doesn't get to carry it very often, Neil. That was his 38th of the year. He now has 144 yards. That run may get him more action. 2nd and 1. And it'll be Truelove carrying in for McAdoo. And I don't know. He needed a yard. He needed to get out to the 42-yard line or close to it. And if he has the first down, he'll barely have it. 2.5 minutes into the second quarter at Ivor Wynne. The Ticats lead the Edmonton Eskimos 5-1. You know, a lot of talk about this Edmonton defense and just how good it is. Is it one of the best the team has ever had?
Well, how good is it, Bob?
It's good. But in 1979, the Edmonton Eskimo defense allowed 219 points in 16 games. 219. They've given up 225 this year in 12 games. So sometimes forget about how good those teams were that won 5 Grey Cups in a row from 78 to 82. I know you don't.
Well, as good as they are, they don't want to give up this 1 yard. It's 3rd and less than a yard.
And the Ticats will go for it at their 42. Kerrigan keeps left side, and he has it with room to spare. And I'm not putting down this Edmonton defense. This is an outstanding collection of people. But that team with Fennell and Kepley and all those great players was something special.
But that's natural when you've got a good football team or a history of good, great football teams. And defenses, you get compared to those. And Cork right now getting that right calf massaged.
Calf muscle is tightened up on him. 1st and 10, Ticats from their 43. Kerrigan throws, intending it for Lee Knight in the right flat. But the pass was a little bit low. Kerrigan throwing into the wind now. I've seen the ball, Neil, sail and do tricks a couple of times because of that gusty wind.
Well, the ball reacts the same on when the ball's punted. If it's not a nice tight spiral and goes through the air smoothly, the slightest little bit of wobble will throw it off a bit. We've seen one sail on Tracy Ham with the wind behind him, and when you're throwing into the wind, it has a tendency to push the ball down.
And Kerrigan is working into it now. 2nd and 10 from his 43.5. Eskimos come with a bunch of people. Kerrigan just gets rid of it. Richard Estelle was the receiver over there, but Kerrigan didn't have much time to get himself set. He could feel the rush, see the rush, hear the rush, you name it. He knew they were coming after him.
A bunch of people. It was almost like a baker's dozen. Don Wilson was up there. Andre Francis was up there. And those guys are defensive backs. They're supposed to be setting back a little bit, getting ready to cover somebody.
That's exactly what Kerrigan was thinking. 3rd down and 10. Ticats at their 43. As Baldiston kick into the wind. Long count by Baldiston. Low kick. But that's the way you have to get them off with his win. Richards catches it, tries to get outside of the left, and is up to about the 46. 10.5 minutes left in the second quarter. Hamilton still leading by 4. 7.5 minutes to go, second quarter. The Edmonton Eskimos, 2nd and 20. More than that from the 25. Ham looks for right, touch. No, he dropped it, and there's a penalty flag on the play. Such a gorgeous throw. Wright was open. It looked like 6 points all the way. Wright couldn't hold on. There is a penalty.
Offside. Edmonton number 79. 2nd down repeated.
Right there on the left side, Mark Napierkowski. And it wasn't Edmonton, it was Hamilton, as everyone knows. And this ball, as you said, was on the money. Juggling.
Well, I was thinking touchdown, and I'm sure Ham and Keith Wright were as well. Napierkowski at the sideline. Touchdown would have stood, but as it is, the Eskimos get another chance. 2nd down from the 20 of Hamilton. Ham scrambling around, throws it in the end zone for Murray. He goes up but can't bring it down. Stephen Jordan on the coverage. Well, the Eskimos once again get into Hamilton territory and fairly deep. but they're not able to get it to the end zone. And Jerry Korek, who missed a field goal earlier, will attempt one now from 27 yards out. He missed a 29-yarder in the first quarter. Rick Warman to hold. The wind is at Korek's back. And he pushed it to the right again. This will go through the end zone for another single point. Korek twice now has pushed his field goal try to the right. And it's now a 5-2 game. Hamilton in front. Frank Robinson has one of 2 Hamilton interceptions tonight. The Ticats 1st and 10 from their 35. Tommy carries and gains 2 yards. Brett Williams makes the stop. Jerry Korek just missed a 27-yard field goal, his second miss of the night.
And you'll watch and you'll see he thinks he's hit it pretty well. Kind of a little bit of a lean, but I think he thinks he snuck it in there. The hands on the hip tell you otherwise. That calf still may be bothering him that he hurt when he was running around giving up that safety touch earlier in the game.
Well, it's unusual to see any kicker in the CFL miss 2 from inside the 30 the way Korek has. Kerrigan puts his pass up, no good. Intended for Tony Champion. Stanley Blair was right there with him. And so the Tiger Cats will have to kick it away. Only 5 first downs for Hamilton in the game. Edmonton has 7. And we have 5.5 minutes left in the first half. And that tells you how the defenses have controlled the game.
Don Matthews, defensive coach, said before the game when we were talking about how aggressive they like to play, if we can play a man and they don't hurt us, we will continue to play man and tighten up on the receivers. And as long as we still get pressure on Kerrigan, that combination works.
3rd down and 8. Hamilton, as Baldiston kicks a low driving spiral. Richards at the 36 collides with Hunter and then is down at the 41-yard line. Tom Richards doing a nice job of getting in position to catch the ball. Ray Robertus among those downfield and in on the tackles.
Ray Robertus makes the tackle for Hamilton.
Joe Faragelli was the CFL Coach of the Year in Saskatchewan, 1981. Al Bruno was the Coach of the Year in 86. And Hamilton won the Grey Cup. Both teams think they have a shot at the Grey Cup again this year. And why not with their records? 10-2 for Edmonton, 8-4 for Hamilton. Reggie Taylor carries off the left side on first down and gets close to 5. Thrown back by Rod Skillman.
Eskimos coming back into the short side of the field, sending most of the strength as far as receivers go to the wide and doing that short side pitch with Blake Marshall leading.
Taylor went over 1,000 yards rushing on the season. The last Edmonton Eskimo to rush for 1,000 yards was Jim Germany. He did it in 1980, so it's been a while. 2nd and 4. Ham wants a quick pass, has to pull it back down, then throw it, completes it to Murray, but Shields with excellent work stops Murray at the 50-yard line, about a half a yard short of the first down.
The last time the Eskimos were down in Hamilton territory, they had about a yard, and I thought for sure they'd go for it. You saw Joe Faragelli call elephants, and that's his pet name for the short yardage team. Michael Souls comes in, John Mandrich, Brett Williams, and Brian Walling.
4 minutes left now in the first half. The clock is running. The Eskimos 3rd down, half a yard from their 50. They trail 5-2. For the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Ham off the right side keeps and looks like he has the first down to the Edmonton 51-yard line.
Ham getting the snap and getting quite low, not quite that low as you see there, but well off behind Randy Ambrosi, Rod Conop, and Blake Dermott. And that right side, John Manders playing the tight end. They just fly off and try to get a piece of somebody and give him room to get down low and get that yard. Nothing fancy about it. There never has been for a quarterback sneak.
Tracy Ham has the strength and leg drive, Neil, as you say, to get those quarterback sneaks routinely, and he did on that play. So the Eskimos from their 52, Ham with Corbin coming after him, is able to get away with his great athletic ability again. Look at this move by Ham. Tracy. What a play by Ham. 2:54 left till halftime. spectacular 51-yard run by Edmonton quarterback Tracy Ham as the Eskimos first and goal at the Hamilton 6. Ham wants to throw, pulls it down. Covington along the line giving chase, and he throws no good. Intended for Walter Murray, but he couldn't hang on.
The right play, and really the only thing Tracy Ham could do. It's not easy to run to your left side when you're a right-handed quarterback. He gets flushed. He wants to go over top early. Now watch him try to pull his shoulders around so he can throw the ball back. A little love bump at the end there by Grover Covington.
Covington said, I'm getting this close to you, Tracy. I'm not going to leave without giving you just a little shot. Mike Walker on the defensive line for Hamilton, shaken up a few plays ago, got his wind knocked out of him, but he's okay. Second and goal from the 6. Ham to the goal line to Keith Wright. They say he didn't get in. They'll mark him at the 1-yard line, so it'll be third and goal to go.
Wright just keeps coming across. He's becoming right towards our camera. And again, Tracy Ham, when he takes that snap, he's looking nowhere else but his left. But then he falls right across the field. There's that open space. He was in the end zone but had to come back out for the ball. Now we look at the Elephants once again, the short yardage team.
Williams 91, Mandrich 75, Michael Souls, as you pointed out, is in there. Third and goal. Joe Caragelli looks on anxiously. Gary Durchik behind him, one of the Edmonton assistants. Will Tracy Ham keep it or hand it off? Marshall through the air, and he has the touchdown. Blake Marshall has his 6th touchdown of the season, and the Eskimos take an 8-5 lead.
A 6'1", 235-pound projectile from the University of Western Ontario. Takes a handoff deep enough from the line of scrimmage so he can make a read, go left, right, or straight ahead. Takes 2 steps and drops those shoulder pads down, and he's tough to stop.
Darryl Corbin shaken up on the play. Marshall is kind of the touchdown specialist. Reggie Taylor and Ham work it into that area, and then they give it to big Blake Marshall, and he takes it in for the points. 2:07 left in the first half at Ivor Wynn, and Joe Caragelli's Eskimos are leading for the first time tonight.
The play is broken up. They get a shot at him, but just his ability takes him to the outside, and you know he's not going out of bounds. Quick cut back inside of Corbin, and you know he smells the goal line right here.
Now, you make a good point. You know he's not going out of bounds. Now, a lot of quarterbacks in that situation would just take it out of bounds, but not Ham. And Marshall driving through the air. Good surge by the offensive line, and the Edmonton Eskimos are in front 9-5. Marshall in his 3rd year out of Western Ontario. First-round draft pick, 2nd player taken overall back in 1987. Been a quiet night at Ivor Wynn. The fans here are really boisterous fans, but the Tiger Cats have not given them a lot to yell about tonight. And even less now with Edmonton taking the lead. Jerry Korick kicks off. Tony Trulove at the 20-yard line. And Trulove stumbled as he crossed the 35 and got up to the 37, maybe the 38.
Pete Giftopoulos going in with the help of the doctor. The bridge of his nose is cut. 2:03 left.
You know Giftopoulos will be back unless it's broken and they tell him he can't keep playing.
Oh, somehow I don't even think a broken nose is going to stop him from playing.
Likely not. So Mike Kerrigan will try again to see if he can get the Hamilton offense rolling. Few teams this year have gotten their offense rolling against Edmonton. Kerrigan spins away from one man and then is sacked by Stuart Hill back at the 31-yard line, a loss of 6.
Well, Stuart Hill, the other half of the bookends, Stuman and Hill both give great speed up the field. You can see him just go to your screen. The pressure's there from Williams. Hill comes back down inside along the line, doesn't give Kerrigan any place to escape.
9th sack of the year for Stuart Hill, set up by 31-year-old Brett Williams. All-Canadian last year and in '86. Second down and a long way to go from the Hamilton 31. We'll call it 17 yards. Kerrigan wants a quick pass. Has a man open, Richard Estelle, but he falls, gets up and gets out to the 33. And that'll be a gain of 2.
Well, what the offense is doing. Have to give some credit to the Eskimo defense by forcing Hamilton to throw those particular patterns. I can't help but think, though, at halftime they're going to try to make some moves. One way or the other to get the ball out more quickly.
Third down and long. Ticats at their 33. A minute 15 left in the first half. The clock is running. Good kick by Baldiston into the wind. Tom Richards at the 35-yard line. And he's back out to the 45, up to the 48-yard line. It was a 42-yard kick by Paul Baldiston, and Tom Richards with a nice run back.
Ray Robertus, this time he gets not harassed too much. Another nice run for him, isn't it?
Where's Andrew McConnell?
Downfield, break down, take on a smaller blocker, make a tackle. If it was that easy all the time, that job would be fun.
Robertus acquired from Ottawa, Scott Flagle a couple of weeks ago. Eskimos with a minute 9 left to put some more points up. Reggie Taylor carries. Grover Covington brings him down as he crosses the Edmonton 50 to the 51 for a gain of 3. Taylor from the University of Cincinnati. 25 years old. The Eskimos go with a hurry-up offense. Second down and 7. Ham gets the pass away and completes it down to the 43-yard line. Keith Wright makes the catch, and a flag comes down after the play.
Well, Stephen Jordan, a little casual after Wright had gone down, can bounce up and go if he hasn't been touched.
Face mask, Hamilton number 43. First down, Edmonton.
Frank Robinson called for the face mask.
Ham again eluding the pressure, steps up in another lane that's open. Now watch. You got to put a hand on him, or he can get up and go. And that face mask comes from Robinson hustling in there and trying to put him down.
Jordan's casual approach playing a role in the penalty. Richards wide open. The pass from Ham. He breaks the tackle and gets down to the 6-yard line. Great effort by Richards. 2 Ticats hit him. He wouldn't go down and has the ball at the Hamilton 6 with 47 seconds left in the first half.
Joe Farragelli saying, huddle up, get things going. Richards thought might see the ball a little bit more tonight with Craig Ellis out of the lineup, and everyone knows how Ham and Ellis have hooked up this year. Had a tremendous year, and so has Tom Richards.
Over 700 yards now in receiving yardage, Tom Richards. First and goal, Eskimos at the Hamilton 6. Taylor couldn't see anything left, so he said, I'll go the other way. And it's down back at the 11-yard line. Rockford moved up from a safety spot and joined by Sonny Gordon to make the tackle. 25 seconds left in the first half. Joe Farragelli urging Ham to hurry up. And Ham will go without a huddle. Second and goal from the Hamilton 11. Lots of time for Ham, and it's intercepted. Frank Robinson has his second of the night and brings it back to the Hamilton 13.
Ham again trying to wait for that receiver to come across the middle, a delay. He gets the protection, he gets to sit in the pocket nicely. Frank Robinson, 43, just to the left of your screen. He drops back. He's going to take away that left drop area, but now he moves to the middle when he sees his Ham trying to lead the ball in there. Great jump in the football, and a great job of keeping the Eskimos off the scoreboard.
And I would guess that Tracy Ham would tell us, Neil, he did not see Frank Robinson at all in his line of vision. Farragelli goes over and encourages Tracy Ham, who kind of smiles at his misfortune. 2 interceptions tonight for Frank Robinson. And that one very, very big. Edmonton ahead 9-5. They just scored a touchdown. To score one here, they're really in control of the game. But the Ticats keep it out of their end zone, and they'll run out the time with this snap and kneel by Mike Kerrigan, and the first half is over. The Edmonton Eskimos had the better of the play, but lead only by 4 points. Where the Ticats trail the Edmonton Eskimos 9-5 at halftime. The key play of the first half came late in the second quarter when Edmonton quarterback Tracy Ham, intending to pass, had to run for his life to get away from Daryl Corbin and turned it into a 51-yard gain all the way down to the Hamilton Tiger Cat 12-yard line, and from there the Edmonton Eskimos went in to score the touchdown that put them ahead in the game. Now, Neil Lumsden, one of the fun things about watching the Edmonton Eskimos play football is watching their defense and the way they move all those people around.
Oh, it's fun for us. It's not so much fun for the offensive teams that they face. What they try to do, and the basic behind it in Don Matthews, is trying to get mismatches, not only for physically and size of people, but numbers. Look on your screen on the bottom, the linebacker is Larry Ruck. Bass is still in the middle. Braswell's up on the other side with the defensive backs coming up. That gives you one look. The next look takes Larry Ruck, puts him on the top of the screen. Braswell now is down near the bottom between, I think it's Williams and Stuman. So there's a different look. Mandrich is standing up. He's no longer over the nose. He's moved. So again, what they're trying to do is get an offensive lineman and say, look, John Mandrich used to be here. Now it's Brett Williams. Let's take another look. Almost like a basic. Danny Bass about 5-6 yards deep. Don Wilson on the right-hand top corner moving around. Stuman on the bottom standing up. Williams is standing up. And so is Stuart Hill. So not much of a change there. Braswell squatting down. The next look really is what we would call a basic defense. Guys down the three-point stance, except both ends are up in a rush position. The linebackers are moving around. Now, Don Matthews says, you know where you have to be when the ball is snapped, but you can do anything to disguise it until the ball is snapped. The next one is a classic example. 8 or 9 people up. People flipped all over the place, defensive backs up. The ball's just about to be snapped before this shot was taken. You know they're coming. Otherwise, they could back out if they wanted to.
Little wonder then that Hamilton quarterback Mike Kerrigan has looked confused at times. The Ticats unable to get much offense going at all as we begin the second half with Hamilton receiving and fumbling the kickoff, but it's quickly picked up by Trulove, and he gets it up to the 45-yard line of the Tiger Cats. Mike Kerrigan and the Hamilton Ticats from their 44-yard line to start the second half. Kerrigan with time, puts it out for Zatilny, and he can't run under it. And a flag comes down. Stanley Blair and Mark Norman were converging on Zatilny. And a flag came down after the play was complete, it looked to me.
Well, as you can see, Zatilny is still down as the play matured, and right to the very end, I think we saw exactly what Edmonton wants from the defense. Mark Norman coming over just at the time of impact, plays a good shot at the receiver.
It's unnecessary roughness against the Eskimos, and I didn't catch whether it was 5 or 23.
Straight down the field, Bass. The defenders are dropping off. They turn and rotate to where the ball's thrown. There's the Tilney, and there's the shot right there. And maybe it's not so much that it was the hit, but the hit took place near the head area. That might be the concern. If he'd hit him in the body or the chest, I don't know if he would have called it.
It was Mark Norman that put the hit on Wally Zatilny. Statistically, the Edmonton Eskimos really dominated the first half. 200 net yards to 68. Each team with 3 turnovers, 12 first downs to 5. 7 penalties taken by Hamilton and only 3 by Edmonton. So just about all Eskimos, and yet they only lead 9-5 as despite moving the ball well, they weren't able to get many points.
Well, neither team have really broken loose. I expected it at least by the second quarter we'd have a big play. The only one is the 51-yard run by Tracy Ham. And I still think we're going to see something in the second half as Zatilny is still receiving attention. Took a heck of a shot to the head.
Well, he cut it high in the chest and in the head. He's possibly winded and got his bell rung. They're checking his jaw, Ray Jones, as you can see. And now he moves his right hand, Zatilny. And again, we see the aggressive play of the Edmonton secondary. Joe Farraghelli loves that aspect of his defense. You know, everybody talks about our front 7, he said, but our defensive backs are very good and very intimidating.
Well, if you can get a secondary to hit people hard all game, by the third quarter or the fourth quarter, receivers start choking back. in respect to reaching out for balls, trying to stretch out and expose their bodies. They know if they do, they're going to take a shot.
Wally Zatilny took a shot. Chances are, though, he'll be back. Usually if you can walk off the field,
that's a good sign. Unless he's
come back.
Dazed or he's seen double vision or doesn't know what park he's in.
Or they're concerned about a broken jaw. 1st and 10 with a penalty. And Estelle is the intended receiver on this long throw by Kerrigan. But the pass was well out of his reach. Stanley Blair with the coverage.
Zatilny receiving some attention. Almost looked like he might have been cut. A good solid examination. He gets ever since the James Bell incident in BC Place Stadium a number of years back. Anytime you see an incident or an accident like that, you just sort of hold your breath for a second.
And the medical people want to be absolutely sure that there is no chance of anything broke or serious damage before they allow him to go back in. Stu Hill hits Kerrigan. The ball comes loose. And the Eskimos finally, I believe, got it at the 51 of the Ticats. Larry Ruck was the Edmonton player who got the football, but Stu Hill is the man who made it happen.
Well, you said the word broken. I'll be very surprised if nothing is wrong with Kerrigan after this hit. You watch Stuart Hill, comes down. There is no one there to block him. No backside protection. And he takes a shot underneath the ribs and exposed. What a hit. You've got to have somebody protect the backside of your quarterback. Or get rid of the ball about 5 seconds early.
Well, I won't say Kerrigan's okay, but he left the field under his own power. As Stu Hill.
Well, almost looks like he's looking for a new helmet.
That was a hard hit. You could feel it up here. Tracy Ham wants to capitalize quickly, and his pass is no good down at the 15-yard line. Todd Smith was the intended receiver. The Eskimos have been using Todd Smith and Walter Murray, 2 new wide receivers, alternating at that one spot.
You know, Stuart Hill can hurt you even when you block him. He gets away from people with his quickness upfield and then closing on quarterbacks. But when it's almost like a 40-yard sprint.
That was a 4th Hamilton turnover. Edmonton has committed 3. Tracy Ham thought the ball was coming. He was 4 yards behind the center, ready to do something with it. Only the center still had the ball.
Legal procedure. Edmonton number 8. 2nd down, repeat it.
Simply getting the count mixed up.
Whoops. And Skillman and Covington were honing in on Mr. Ham.
Well, pretty good sign of who made the mistake is not another offensive lineman move. They band together, don't they?
Yeah. 2nd and 15 from center field now for the Eskimos with the procedure penalty. Ham forced out of the pocket, gets the ball away and completes it down at the 37-yard line. There's a flag. Todd Smith, the receiver, makes the catch. There's a flag down, and Ham was across the line of scrimmage when he threw that ball. So the first down will be wiped out.
He almost sees by his stance. He's not directly behind the quarterback. He's coming out, going to his left. Called a throwback because he's not rolling out all the way. Again, steps up. Watch for the yellow line right there. His left foot was over when he threw it, and that was the line of scrimmage.
His left foot hit the Hamilton 54-yard line as he got rid of the ball. And the center stripe was the line of scrimmage. So it'll be 2nd down over, and this time the Edmonton Eskimos will have 25 yards to go from their 45-yard line. Edmonton leads 9-5, 2.5 minutes into the second half. Ham buying himself lots of time, throws it back the other way, intended, I think, for Todd Smith. I don't know whether he just lost that ball a bit or what, but it was nowhere near the intended receiver.
And it was nowhere near a defender either, and that was the smart move. If Smith could run underneath it, so be it, but I think it's just simply saving a turnover, even though ultimately they have to turn the ball over here when they kick it.
Gary Corrick trailing Paulus Balston by 5 yards a kick tonight. Corrick kicking into the wind. Now the wind isn't as strong as when the game began, so it shouldn't be that much of a factor. As Corrick kind of angles it toward the sidelines. And a no yards penalty comes down. And Todd Dillon will come on to quarterback the Tiger Cats. I don't think he's been taken out because he got hit so hard by Stu Hill the last time he had the ball.
No, I think it's simply that he's going to get a chance to look at what's going on in the field, see what Dillon can do. And Al Bruno said before he gets frustrated, maybe the best thing for him to do is sit back and relax for a second.
Dillon dumps it off across center field to the 53 of Edmonton. Jed Tommy, the receiver, a gain of 5 yards for the Ticats. Very difficult defense to attack. The Saskatchewan Roughriders had some success a couple of weeks ago. They beat Edmonton and Toronto earlier in the year, but they only scored 21 points when they beat the Eskimos. Dillon scrambling around, finds Estelle, but Estelle can't hang on to the ball at the 45 of Edmonton. There is a penalty flag down, and it's holding against the Tiger Cats.
Wouldn't be surprised to see Dillon move the pocket a little bit more, do some sprint out or half rolls. Try to get away from some of that pressure and maybe try to put some of that pressure back on the defense.
Ball is Balston. Will punt. Balston, a good snap. And he kicks it toward the sideline and gets it out at the 13-yard line of Edmonton. Excellent job by Paulus Balston. Well, Sunday night, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers will play the Toronto Argonauts at Winnipeg Stadium. Mike Riley, the Blue Bomber head coach, is with us. Mike, Sunday night football. Are your players looking forward to that for starters?
Well, I think we're anxious, Bob, to get back on the winning track, and it doesn't really matter what night it is or day it is. We're just anxious to play again.
What kind of shape is your team in for this game, Mike?
I think pretty good. One obvious guy that we're going to be missing is Perry Tuttle. He, of course, hurt his ribs last week and won't be able to play. But besides that, we're in pretty good shape, and we're getting some guys back. People like Les Brown and Tim Jesse will be in our lineup this week, and we're also going to add Nick Benjamin to our roster.
Mike, comparing your football team to last year's team at this time, are you better on both sides of the football?
Well, I would say that we are. The area we're probably not as good in, Neil, is special teams, but we are improving, and I hope that we can keep improving and get that part of the game in line.
You've mentioned many times you miss Benny Thompson on defense, but I know he has an awful lot to do with the success of your special teams.
Very much so. He was, I think, one of the top coverers on punts and kickoffs in the league last year. He was our leading tackler on special teams, and we have some guys doing a good job, but he's definitely had big shoes to fill.
Mike, the Argos are a hurting football team, a disappointing year for them, 4-8, but I know that a team you're still very wary of.
Oh, no question about that. I think that they're a proud football team and have a lot of good players, and the one thing that you have to notice is their defense still continues to play very tough, and they keep them in some ball games, and they're a team, I believe, with their backs to the wall, and I know they'll be competing very hard.
Surprised at how low scoring this game is.
I am surprised, although you're seeing two great defenses there, so maybe it's not all that surprising.
And who are you pulling for, Mike?
Very obviously the Eskimos tonight.
Mike, just a quick update on Gilbert Renfro's situation and how he stands with the Bombers.
Well, Neil, Gilbert is still not here, and I don't anticipate that he will be here.
Well, Mike, thank you very much. We appreciate your joining us, and we look forward to telecasting that game Sunday night. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers and the Toronto Argonauts at 8 Eastern time from Winnipeg Stadium.
Should be a great one.
I think it will be a good one.
Well, you just know that the Argos at some point this season are going to get it together, and I think that'll happen when they get their people back. There's some key players they're unsure of for Sunday's game, but premature to write them off. Wright catches a pass from Tracy Ham on 2nd down and 7 and has an Edmonton first down.
Right now we're seeing the Eskimos successfully execute their game plan. When you can average per carry as an offense 5.7 yards, you make people leery of when you run it and throw it, and they are now working that hurry-up offense without the huddle.
Tracy Ham gets away from that rush again, and he fights across the 45 up to the 47 for a 9-yard gain. Now this has to become very discouraging for the Hamilton defense. They've had Ham cornered so many times, and each time that happens and they don't get to him, it just has to hurt a little bit.
Well, it hurts and it wears out a defense. Corbin used to dropping back, moving all over the field. This is tough on defensive players. You see, he's no longer just chasing sideways. He's trying to take an angle where he can catch him. Then he has to deal with people trying to knock him down downfield. That wears your defense down, and Tracy Ham, with this offense, does it and has done it all year.
Second down and short. Hand off left side. And Blake Marshall butts heads with a couple of Ticats. Comes out on top and gains 8 yards for an Edmonton first down.
Well, no one ever said when you're carrying the football you can't hit people. And I think Blake Marshall right there showed you that to run over people, the best way to do it, put the ball in the left hand and just drop that right shoulder, spin off. That's how they try to teach you to do it on dummies, and he did it perfectly.
Stephen Jordan said, "What hit me?" Ham has 102 yards rushing in the game. And Marshall with an impressive 8-yard carry for a first down. Daryl Corbin, injured Ticats. 7:24 left, third quarter, 9-5. Edmonton leads Al Bruno's Hamilton Tiger Cats.
We talked about Corbin and the chase and the pursuit that they've had to, along with the rest of the Tiger Cat defense, running down Ham, along with special team work that Corbin is involved in very heavily. It makes for a very long night if that defense is kept on the field by a very consistent offense. And that's Craig Ellis right there on the right of Joe Faragelli in the hat.
Well, we talked to Joe Faragelli before the game about the hurry-up offense and if we'd see much of it tonight.
Well, I would like to do it again tonight, but I got one problem. I have Keith Wright playing out in a different position, and I have a wideout that's only been in camp for about 10 days. And if we say the hurry-up offense, I don't think he'd know what to do, but we can give it a shot. I think we're going to run a few plays like that. Something very basic and simple.
Tracy Ham for Keith Wright. The play was there. Wright couldn't quite squeeze the ball, and a Ticat defender may have tipped it at the last second. That would be Jim Rockford.
Well, Rockford or Jordan. Jordan was right there with the left hand. Rockford was coming over from the middle. I think you're going to see Jordan get that hand in there just as the ball was going to reach. Right there. Keith Wright, I for sure thought he had 6 points. Good, solid defensive play. Good coverage.
Second and 10. Eskimos from center field. Ham moves up in the pocket. Now he'll go, and he'll get the first down. Bowling ahead across the 45 to the 44 of the Ticats in the Edmonton drive. This is a long, time-consuming one. Continues.
You know, there's another thing we'll never see Tracy Ham do. When he scrambles and goes downfield, I don't know if we'll ever see him go into a slide.
Later in his career, we will.
Oh, maybe, but he likes getting upfield. He knows where he has to go to the first down, across that line. And the best way to do it is going forward.
We won't see it anytime soon. The thing about Ham, as you talked about earlier in the game, Neil, is he is so strong. I mean, he's so well built. He can do that kind of thing and really not worry too much about getting hurt. 112 yards and a 16-yard average. Much of that a 51-yard run in the second quarter that set up an Edmonton touchdown. Ham this time doesn't get away. There is a penalty flag down as Grover Covington gets the sack.
Again, the Eskimos, that half sprint to the right, or what's called a throwback, where they try to create a pocket just behind the offensive tackle. Blake Marshall's out there. He's blocking to the outside. You see the offensive lineman at the snap of the ball sliding to the right. They've created that pocket and given him pretty darn good time. But how much time? I mean, how long can you keep Grover Covington out?
Not that long.
Nope, obviously not.
10-yard loss. Second down and 20. Eskimos back at center field now. Ham to Reggie Taylor. At the 45, he gets away from Giftopoulos to the 40, the 35, and knocked out at the Hamilton 32. What a tremendous effort by Reggie Taylor to give the Eskimos a first down.
Well, you can't arm tackle Reggie Taylor. Watch all the film you want on him. He's able to break arm tackles and bounce off good solid hits. Good move. Puts the brakes on here. Just ducks out of the way of Giftopoulos and then gets down the sidelines. Knows where the first down marker is. Once he goes back in, he's aiming for that marker.
23-yard gain of the 32. Ham in the pocket. Here he goes again. To the 20. Look at this move to the 15-yard line. Tracy Ham and the Eskimo athletes on offense start to excel.
Well, it looks like the Eskimos stop the spread. Might get 2 runners over 1,000 yards this year.
I like Ham's chances. Came into the game with 587 rushing yards. Gives to Reggie Taylor left side. So Ham's gone over 700 yards tonight as Taylor has stopped for a gain of about 2.
When we asked Al Bruno earlier on today how he'd like to, or would try to deal with Tracy Ham and his scrambling ability, he said that they'd have Daryl Corbin, middle linebacker number 38, spine, dropping back if he didn't have a responsibility, or free him of his responsibilities and try to go with Tracy Ham. That didn't work either.
Well, the spy network is broken down. Eskimos second down and 8. Hamilton 13-yard line. Ham is back to pass. Has a man wide open. Touchdown. Blake Marshall got wide open against linebacker Pete Giftopoulos, and Tracy Ham was able to spot him, and the Eskimos go in front 15-5.
Well, you mentioned earlier about Marshall being the short yardage specialist. You see Marshall just right there. Giftopoulos has him on man. He drops off and then backs himself into the end zone and puts himself in a position where he can catch it. Great body control and great awareness that Tracy Ham needed some help and to work to an open area.
Second touchdown of the night for Marshall. And the convert by Jerry Corrick. That was a 13-play, 97-yard drive. Corrick's convert, and it's now 16-5 Eskimos with 4 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Biggest lead of the game. It's 11 points for the Edmonton Eskimos, 16-5 over Hamilton. 4:40 left, third quarter. Zatilny shaken up a few minutes ago, back in the game, and brought down at the 41-yard line by Larry Ruck.
Well, watch how Tracy Ham, the footwork. 3-step drop, wants to throw it earlier, and now backs out. If he wasn't a football player, he'd make a great dancer because his foot movement is outstanding.
You just have to admire all the things he can do. You know, I think he'd be the first to say this hasn't been his best night. But that drive, 97 yards, 13 plays. Impressive all the way. Dillon throwing on first down for Champion, and a flag comes down. Stanley Blair, again with very tight coverage, and they'll call Blair for interference.
And you know what? They'll be called for interference. Blair has played tight that time, maybe caught throwing that arm over early, but he'll keep playing that tight.
There's no flag in the play. The pass was uncatchable. Second down.
Well, they intended to call Blair for interference, but ruled that the pass was not catchable.
Well, you get a perfect sight of it right here.
Well,
I think it was tight coverage. If he had reached for it, it made it like he was going to go for it, maybe they'd call it, but he put his arms down.
I think if Champion saw that replay, he'd make an argument that he could have caught it. Kerrigan is sacked on second down, or Dillon, pardon me. Brett the Toaster Williams got through to sack Todd Dillon.
Well, that defensive system, they take turns. They try to free one man every time they come up to the ball on defense. This time, looks like it's Brett Williams. And I'd like to say that that was a design play, but he just simply beats two people and makes a great sack.
Well, if one of them doesn't get you, somebody else will on that Edmonton defense.
Williams has great ability to come off the football, and you see somebody try to block him, and they can't even get their hands out on him.
It's Baldiston's kick, fielded by Richards back at the 31. He veers back up to the 35, gets away, fumbles the ball right into the arms of a Ticat at the 43-yard line. Jed Tommy has the football for Hamilton. With the ball at their 43-yard line, Reggie Taylor carries right side, finds an opening to center field, and then down into the 50-yard line of Hamilton. 17 more yards for Reggie Taylor, who went over 1,000 yards on the season tonight to become the first Edmonton back to gain 1,000 since Jim Germany in 1980.
Look at the the left side of the offensive line, Potier and Bercheville pulling around, leading up the field. We've thrown an awful lot of accolades towards Taylor tonight, and rightfully so, but that offensive line has done a good job of not only creating gaps, but getting Taylor into the secondary quickly.
Ham facing all sorts of pressure, but he'll just run away from it. No problem for Tracy Ham. And he'll dump the ball downfield, making it look very easy. And the Eskimos have another first down to the Hamilton 33-yard line. Blake Marshall, Ham's receiver.
I'm impressed by the way the Eskimo receivers and backs have been able to adjust tonight when the situation looks like they could be in trouble. You know, Hamilton plays it pretty well here. Ham tries to boot. He gets pressure from Corbin. He escapes the rush. Now, they look like they might have him if he decides to run, but Marshall puts a hand up and identifies it. He's got a chance to throw the football, and that's what he does.
Ham gets away again, gets the ball off, incomplete. Intended for Murray. But once again, Tracy Ham, with pressure there, got away from it. I mean, the Hamilton people up front, Neil, have, I think, done a pretty good job of getting into Tracy Ham's kitchen, but they can't get him.
Well, you talk about frustration. We spoke earlier about Mike Kerrigan not having success and maybe getting frustrated. It can't be easy for those 12 guys on defense who have all, at one point tonight, had a shot at Ham for a loss and not come through.
Second down and 10. Ham throws, and it's no good. Intended for Todd Smith, but it was over his head. The other thing is, I mean, Covington's 33 years of age. Walker's 31, and they're both still very good players. But that's a factor as well. Those guys running after Tracy Ham all night, you get to the fourth quarter, and you wonder how much they're going to have left.
So what are you saying? You're 33 and you're over the hill, Bob?
Don't tell Grover I said that. I would say you maybe can't run as many miles in a night as you could when you were 25.
That's fair.
But Grover can still run. 41-yard field goal attempt. Jerry Korick has the ball down. Rick Warman placing it, and it's through there. Korick raises his arms in victory, and that makes the score Edmonton 19 and Hamilton 5. And we pause 10 seconds for the stations from coast to coast to identify themselves. You're watching the Canadian Football Network.
This is ESPN, the Total Sports Network.
The Edmonton Eskimos really taking control now. The CFL 14 points is nothing, especially with a full quarter left. But, you know, you watch Edmonton play defense the way they played defense tonight and all season long, and you have to think they're in pretty good shape.
No hands going on the hip this time.
Clark missed a couple of relatively short ones earlier from 29 and 27 yards. But that one was right through from 41. The Ticats ask Cork to kick off. Wally Zatilny gets a funny bounce and has to one-handed at the 20-yard line. And he is hit hard by Greg Stuman at the 34-yard line. Greg Stuman on special teams. So is Larry Ruck. Enos Jackson starting defensive back.
Well, it's funny how those players, the good ones on offense or defense, their names creep up in special team work. Shows you how much time they really do log throughout a game if you consider special teams a third. Playing two-thirds of a football game if you're a starter on defense and special teams.
Of course, Stuman's not 33. He could run all night. Shotgun formation from the Ticats with Todd Dillon. Give him a little more time, they're hoping. Flags down. Dillon fumbles the ball. And and it's recovered by Edmonton at the 20-yard line of the Ticats. But there is a penalty flag, so we'll see if that will bail the Ticats out.
Legal procedure. Hamilton declined.
No, it doesn't. The penalty against the Ticats, and the Eskimos have it on the 20-yard line of Hamilton as the third quarter ends. Ham to the end zone, but it's no good. Intended for Todd Smith. Ham was hit as he delivered the ball.
Well, shotgun formation is supposed to give you a little bit more time. It certainly didn't give anyone more time. Again, Brett Williams with that quick swim move gets through early penetration, forces Dillon to run around a little bit, and allows his teammates to come over, and Stuman comes up with the football.
Dillon talking to Kerrigan. You wonder if Kerrigan will come back in. Ham back in the pocket, routinely gets away from the rush, gets away from Mike Walker, down to the 10, hit hard at the 1-yard line. Frank Robinson was back there to make the stop, along with Pete Giftopoulos, but it's been quite a show by Tracy Ham, and it continues.
Straight back, and then he's going to sprint on the right. It's a drop back pass, but Corbin forces him out. And when you force him to the outside and he can turn that corner, this is exactly the result. And wouldn't it be something if Tracy Ham could get to 1,000 yards rushing this year? And if he accumulates upwards of 3,500 passing, what a season.
Maybe the most outstanding player in the Canadian Football League if he achieves all that, and the Eskimos keep winning. Certainly a leading candidate from the 1, first and goal Eskimos. Handoff Marshall has his third touchdown of the night, and Edmonton has a 25-5 lead.
At full house backfield, the Eskimos show in this short yardage. Each back is going to lead to their side. And then Blake Marshall just gets the ball again, 3 or 4 yards deep, finds a hole, and this time it is straight ahead. Randy Ambrosi, Rod Conop just coming off the ball and giving him a seam.
Well, Edmonton failed to take advantage of some chances in the first half to score, but not in the second half. They've capitalized on them all, and a convert here by Jerry Corrick will give them a 26-5 lead over Hamilton. Blake Marshall's third touchdown of the game and 8th of the season came at 1:16 in the fourth quarter. Edmonton in front of Hamilton 26-5. Jerry Corrick will kick off. Tony Trulove will return from the 13. Trulove across the 35 out to the 38, and there's a flag down as Tony Trulove brings it back. Blake Marshall's had quite a night, 3 touchdowns, 2 of them running and 1 on a pass from Tracy Ham.
Even looks like a fullback, doesn't he? The shirt's out, looks messy, sweating like crazy. Has to stay on the special teams. Got to work on his touchdown move, though.
Back off. Everybody in Edmonton. Hi, Joe.
He does have that fullback look. I agree.
And he's had some battles tonight with Corbin on one-on-one blocking, and it's just been outstanding.
I'm not quite sure how to describe that fullback look, but whatever it is,
that's it. You're looking at it right now.
Right there. Okay. Make up the description yourself.
That's good.
You know what we're talking about, I think. Ticats from their 20. Dillon stays in. Perhaps wishes he hadn't, as he sacked back at the 12-yard line. And the roof has really fallen in on the Hamilton offense. Now, Jeff Braswell was in on that sack along with Danny Bass.
Well, the one thing you don't want to do for this Eskimo defense is get in a situation where you have to pass, because you're going to see all sorts of different looks, more than what we looked at halftime, and then you have to deal with them. For that trying to double team Stuart Hill, he breaks that. Bourgeau's in there. There's a horde of them in there.
Just when you think you have them, they come from somewhere else. 5 sacks now for Edmonton, and they're all coming again as Dillon throws. Incomplete. And very quickly, Hamilton again has to get rid of the football. The Ticats do not have 100 yards in offense. They're below 100 yards in offense tonight.
Well, that was the type of play that they need to execute completely. You know, quick hot pass, Truelove gets inside position. He's just got to catch the football.
I haven't seen many of those hot passes tonight. A little bit surprising. 3rd down and 17 as Balliston kicks from his end zone. And the wind, which has gone down a lot, grabs this one and pulls it back upfield, and it's grabbed by Walling very alertly as Balliston was moving to recover it, and returned down near the Hamilton 20-yard line. Brian Walling with the football. Now Nepierkowski and Larry Ruck are going at it. The flags fly, and we may have some disqualifications out of that.
Ruck and Nepierkowski were getting at it pretty good.
Well, you know that the Tiger Cats are having a tough time dealing with what has happened now.
There it is. Left of the screen. Who's holding who? Now a couple of right hooks are going to be thrown. What was this call, though? He called it unnecessary roughness.
Edmonton number 45. Objection of conduct. Bench Hamilton. 1st down Edmonton.
Objectionable conduct against Mike McLean and the Hamilton bench.
Well, McLean came in a little bit late in the skirmish.
I want the same intensity, but I want you to play smart. That is smart.
Good advice.
Joe Ferragelli wanting to make sure things are kept under control. His team leading 26-5. Tracy Ham to Reggie Taylor, right side.
Marshall and Taylor getting the football and taking off as much time as the 11 minutes left in this 4th quarter as they possibly can.
Last time we did an Edmonton game on CFN, Blake Marshall had 3 touchdowns against the Calgary Stampeders. He has 3 tonight. Will he get a shot at a 4th? Ham's going to throw, and a touchdown to Tom Richards. Richards is hurt as he went down hard on that pavement just outside the end zone. But Tracy Ham has a 2nd touchdown pass of the night, and the Eskimos have a 32-5 lead.
Just about a yard and a half after the artificial turf ends, there's the asphalt. Ham, good protection again, steps up, good lane to throw the football, and Richards shields the ball well with his body, so the defender can't come up and get in front of him. Slows it down because he knows the ball's thrown just to that outside position.
So the Eskimos add to their lead, take further control of a game that is no longer in any doubt. Rick Warman will put the ball down for Jerry Corrick, and 10:43 left in the 4th quarter, and it's now a 33-5 Edmonton lead. 33-5, the Edmonton Eskimos on their way to their 11th win in 13 games. Corrick kicks off to Wally Zatilny. Good return up to the 46-yard line by Zatilny. Don Wilson makes the tackle.
Well, speaking of cats, and the mascot in the end zone for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, I think his name is Harley, but what a lot of people don't know is he's from Alberta.
Harley, his first name or his last?
He only needs one.
Oh, okay.
It's a lot easier when you're calling him in for dinner. Harley, you don't have 2 names. Talk short.
I see. imported from Alberta, has not been a good luck charm for Hamilton tonight. Dillon puts it up long and completes it to Champion down to the 25-yard line. Ticats haven't had much going on offense tonight, but that one looked good. Tony Champion's second catch of the night, and he hurt himself doing it.
Well, tight on man coverage, and to be able to get rid of Stanley Blair isn't easy. What he does, he gets the inside, and that acceleration that we've seen Tony Champion display on many situations is what was able to got him that separation from Blair, and just that one step that they haven't had by any really receiver all night.
39-yard gain. Champion looked like he turned his ankle on the play. And that's easily the biggest play of the night for the Ticats. 9:52 left. 33-5, Edmonton leading. You know, the Tiger Cats have a pretty good record against teams in the East, but not so good against teams in the West.
But not only teams in the West, teams in Alberta.
That record will drop to 3-4 against the West with this loss tonight, and the 4 losses: 2 against Edmonton, 2 against Calgary. And Al Bruno, who told us, Neil, before the game that he was content with the 8-4 record. You know, I guess can't feel too bad about being 8-5, but he won't like what has happened here tonight very much.
Well, I think you always want to keep adding to your wins, and as an owner would want to. Mr. Braley, the owner of the Tiger Cats, would like to add to his wins, go a long way past 8 wins. Done a good job here in Hamilton, taking care of not only the little things off the football field, but on the football field. And David Braley has concerned himself with those off, primarily.
Dillon from the 25 back to throw, has some time, puts it up, but it's no good. Intended for Richard Estelle, who moves to wide receiver with Champion out. Lee Knight comes in to play Estelle's slot back spot. Dillon hasn't played very much this year. He's thrown 57 passes on the season coming into this game for 401 yards. No touchdowns, 1 interception.
Tony Champion, who came out just a minute ago, and you can see him right there, has a twisted toe. Turf monster action there, someone grabbing him. And Tom Richards will be back only in the special team capacity for the Eskimos.
2nd and 10, Ticats, Edmonton 25-yard line. Dillon puts it up for Zatilny, and he's run off the ball by Francis, and a penalty flag comes down, interference against the Eskimos.
Andre Francis.
Forward pass interference, number 14 Edmonton. First down Hamilton.
Out on the corner, we've talked about aggressive play. Along with that aggressive play comes a little bit of a hex, booga booga, and then off you go. Good position from the inside, but that push right there. Just that little jam with the elbow is what's called.
1st and goal, Ticats at the Edmonton 9. Dillon in the end zone for Champion, touchdown.
Seemed like a zone defense. Francis takes Champion off the ball, then releases him. Enos Jackson, 29, jumps the football after it's thrown, but just a hair too late.
The 12th touchdown of the year for Tony Champion, ties him with BC's David Williams for the CFL lead. As Balliston with the convert, and with 8:52 left in the 4th quarter, it's now Edmonton 33 and Hamilton 12. This game would be one of them. If you're Hamilton, I mean, if I was Al Bruno, I'd say, guys, forget it. Let's just forget it. These guys are too good.
Well, we've talked about defensive players and some great ones. I don't know if there's been any greater than the fella in the tie and the white shirt. The hand gestures right there on the right side is Danny Kepley, who does the color commentary for the radio for the Edmonton Eskimos on CFRA.
West Montgomery, the
CFRN, I'm sorry.
CFRN, West Montgomery with the blue jacket. Alan Watt, who works for the Eskimos, their public relations, media relations director. Al McCann is in the booth as well, another one of the CFRN broadcasters. sending a happy story back to Edmonton tonight as the Eskimos lead Hamilton 33-12. A minute 1 left now. Marshall carries on first down and gets. And it's down now to 35 seconds. And Corrick with a rush coming, pulls it down and then gets the kick away on the run and does a good job at the 35. Lance Shields is cut down up around the 38. 9 seconds remaining. It's been an adventurous night for Jerry Corrick.
Well, and you can still see him limping a bit. That right calf must be giving him a problem. Didn't seem like there was an awful lot of pressure. The high snap brings his head up, and when his head comes up, he sees the pressure. Doesn't have to even be close to him, but if he feels like it's going to get in the way, or that because he had to jump, he was going to slow down his steps, he pulls it down and goes. Worked out all right for him.
Todd Dillon and the Ticat offense. Run one more play. McAdoo right side, and he's up to the 45-yard line with 3 seconds left. So there'll be one more play, barring a penalty, before this game is over. And the Edmonton Eskimos will take another step toward yet another first-place finish. I guess if you want to find one flaw in Edmonton's recent history, they've won 7 of the last 14 Grey Cups, but only 1 of the last 6. Dillon hands off to McAdoo, and he's stopped for a loss of a few yards, and the game is over. The Eskimos beat the Ticats 33-12.